con los terroristas.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 10, the week 10 episode of the Fantasy Hangover. Joined as always with my guy Joe. And like always, we're going to start off with the standings. There's a new number one in town. I was the number one seed last week. I lost again. I'm on a 2-game skid, so I dropped to 6-3. But we have two 7-2 teams ahead of me. Joe is 7-2. Casey is 7-2. I'm 6-3. And then beneath me, we've got Kyle and Owen, both at 5-4. And then that 6 seed right now is still Pete's Posse, picking up the last wild card spot. He's 4-5. Then down there in the toilet bowl right now, we've got a trio of 3 and 6 teams. That is CHIGS, Dell, and Brawny. And then down there, all the way down at the bottom, are the LMHTs, the Lick My Whole Tears. They're bad. They're 2-7, and they're bad. Let's head into the Week 9 box scores. A little recap. We're going to start things off. Joe, we're going to start off with your matchup. Team Da versus the LMHTs, the number 1 seed versus the number 10 seed. Joe picked up a win, won 152 to 126. Your team scored 150. I mean, impressive stuff, because to the naked eye, this is a pretty ugly team. Pretty ugly squad you got rolling out with, but they got the job done in Week 9. Talk to me about your Week 9 performance.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want Brock Bowers. That's the reason I held on to Brock Bowers right there. And then they just traded Jacoby Myers away. I have the most 2 explosive pieces on their offense, and last week it showed, 20 and 44. So obviously that's not going to happen every week, but I'm expecting consistent 15-plus weeks from both of them. Gino targeted Bowers 13 times last week. He caught 12 of them. So very impressed there. The receiver play, we'll get into some trades after, but like I said, for how much injuries I've been through, 7-2 with the most. I'm in the first seed, just because I've scored 70 more points than Casey, but I like where I'm at, and then the deal I just made kind of helps put that a little bit more. I'll explain that one later, but I don't like where I'm at, obviously, but for given the circumstances that I've had this season, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you're making it work.
Look, my whole T-rolls, though.
Not making it work. They are not making it work.
No.
You want to start things off about them, or should I shit talk them first?
God, great pieces. I know I'm a big piece guy.
He does not have great pieces. His team sucks, Joe.
Pittman, Adams, and A.J. Brown, and then he's got Ferguson and Laporta. And then Kyron. He's just missing a running back, too. He just doesn't trade. Go trade one of your tight ends for a running back and make that team, good up and down. It's not bad, but he's going to miss the playoffs because he doesn't wheel and deal, and I think he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it.
Joe, his team sucks. They suck.
Dude, he's got great receivers.
C.J. Stroud.
Baker Mayfield's on his bench. He just ran into a shit sandwich last week.
Not a fan of the LMHTs, but
doesn't take initiative, and that's kind of what fucks him.
But who am I to talk? Because I put up a smelly 107. I was 6-1. Now I'm 6-3. But here's the thing: even if my team had a stellar week, put up 150, it wasn't going to matter because Kyle put up a monster week, nearly 170 points. And I'm gonna put this blame. I'm blaming nobody but myself. I lit a fire under Kyle's team's ass because I came out here. I was talking shit last week. I said, Kyle, I'm gonna light you up. My team is going to kick your ass. And we didn't. And I gave him bulletin board material, and that's on me. It won't happen again. I'm playing Petey this upcoming week. Petey, I think you're going to beat me, man. Your team's way better than mine. Yeah. But in all seriousness, Kyle's team had a really solid week. My nun guy, he kind of lucked his way into that one. But this is there's 2 sides to the Kyle coin. Sometimes his team goes off. Sometimes his team doesn't. They've got a wide range of outcomes. He's like the opposite of Casey's team. I happened to catch him on a bad week for myself. He put up a stellar performance. How you feeling about Kyle's squad?
I like his team. He's hesitant to move on from his big pieces. We were in conversations about Josh Allen this past week. Bucky got mentioned, even London got mentioned, but Like that's his core, and he should stick to that. It's tough right now because he was 4-4 heading into the week. Now he's 5-4 without Bucky. He's been a little injured. Hampton still like Kyle's got a great team. He's just got to make it to the playoffs first. And I think by keeping that team together, trust the process, in a year where we're like very low records to get in the playoffs, I think Kyle's putting himself in a position to be successful once that time comes. Drake London obviously had a great game. Marv did as well. Another guy, that was a great ad, and just have stash away for Kyle there, and that just kind of helped him this week. But for Paul's team, I mean, Gibbs, we've really never seen that side of Gibbs. I don't recall him ever being that low once he's gotten the head honch role. But JT, it's like kind of like, I know it's one game, but the flashbacks to like old JT when he doesn't score touchdowns, like he's just sitting at that 7 to 13 range. Hopefully that does not stay for Paul's or for the Gauls' sake here. Caleb Williams, though, great week. It just sucks that Rome didn't produce from that. Not worried about him. JSN's always going to produce, and like I said, RJ Harvey even got another touchdown. So I mean, the Gauls, I should say, they're there, and I don't think either of these teams have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, there you go. All right, next game, who should we go to? We'll head on over to Everybody Gonna Eat. Owen's team put up a smooth 135, picked up another win over 16 Deep. We'll start off with 16 Deep since he loved to glaze him so much. Talk to me about how many pieces he has and how scary he is. Put up a 100 burger.
I mean, that's just because he didn't have running back too. That kind of blew for Dell there. No Barkley, Stevenson was hurt, Swift was out. He didn't have his pieces in there. I think if he has his pieces in, DK laid an egg. But besides that, I mean, Dell's team didn't have a bad week. Just those two blemishes, and I think that's kind of, he's never going to bench DK, but like that was just a rare bad week from DK. Steelers picked up a win though. Owen's team, like usual, just it's going to fuck, and let's just hope he doesn't get that belt again. It's just he kind of has himself in a shit sandwich now because Kamara is just like equivalating nothing, and it's just like yikes. But he did pick up Scatabo for his bench. I don't know why he did that because he's out for the season, maybe just to show grit. I don't know.
He's a vibes guy.
But yeah, vibes guy there.
He's like a Munori Kawasaki, like never gonna play, but there for the locker room.
He's at backs last week, didn't score a touchdown, but both of them combined for 31 points. Like that's a great week. Like I said, Lamar's back and he's black, so I mean that's great. DJ Moore had another great week too. Just fantastic stuff from EGE. But it'd be terrible if like the injury bug bit his team. You know, I don't want to wish that, but he sent me 3 guys now, 2 Giants. So hey, take care of them. What happens the next week after we take care of them? Torn ACLs or dislocated ankles. So
he's casting spells over there or something. It's not cool.
Not good.
Next game, kind of a blowout. This really was not too many close matchups in Week 9 for our league. CHIGS, who was on a 5-game losing streak, finally got back in the win column with a really nice win. This was kind of the first week that he's had his complete team, no injuries, no buys. He had that sick duo of Puka and Jamar. They didn't let him down. Gadsden really hadn't been doing Gadsden things, but still 12 points out of the tight end spot. You'll take that. And then really the key needle mover for seasons over is the running backs. And they showed out. ETN with 16, Dowdle with 29. If you're getting production out of those guys, CHIGS has a solid team. And I think CHIGS is my pick to snag that 6th seed. I mean, I think his team is significantly better than Petey's. I think CHIGS is that 6th seed. Those wide receivers and Dowdle and that tight end, that's a good team, and they showed out this week. How do you feel?
Well, half of it's my former team, and I kind of bit the bullet on that trade there. That was really bad. And I'm not even gonna. That was really, really bad. I mean, if I kept my team from what I had, let's see what week it was. I think it was week 7. No,
6.
It was week 6. This was my team week 6. Mahomes, Dowdle, ETN, Jamar Chase, and then it was Sutton, Flowers, and Bowers. And I had Jalen Warren on the bench. So my team actually would have been just fine, but I panicked because it did look too mediocre at the time, and now it's like really mediocre. So
kaboom.
Yeah, but CHIGS, Uh, I set him up for success there with having Puka and uh, Chase, and now he's got Dowdle. It's just his team is pretty good. He's just got to put together some wins here. And then on the flip side of it,
The boys.
uh, the boys, man, it sucks to see, but like he also has pieces that he doesn't like to trade. Garrett Wilson's just rotting on the bench there rather than trying to like, hey, I need a tight end and maybe a quarterback, and then maybe like it's just the boys. They're just not as motivated this year for the boys.
Oh, he's down there in Miami, Boca Raton, hanging out with the.
It's like you're not paying attention to fantasy football then down there. Nobody
working
is.
at a golf course. He's not a Shota anymore, but Shota boy anymore. But he's a. What are those guys called? The Boom Boys, Big AJ and Big Justice. He's hanging out with the Boom Boys instead of the Shota boys, and his team's dropping some games. Then you guys know what time it is. We might have to start playing like the Edwin Diaz trumpets or something. It's time for the closer, Pete's Posse. He goes last every week. Normally, in weeks past, we've been hyping him up. Pete's Posse had a down week. He's in the dungeon this week. 89 points. Ugh. Not a good game for the closer. His team just isn't good. But I don't think he was expecting much. Breece Hall was on a bye. Quinshon was on a bye. This was kind of something he was already checking off in the loss column. But still, you can't be super motivated after a shit week like this. The Posse, they're not in a tremendous spot. But they still got that 6th seed somehow. How do you feel about the Posse? Do they get in the playoffs?
But I was looking at and that's why I was kind of like, if Pete makes the playoffs, Judkins has the easiest running back schedule. Breece Hall literally is all the Jets have left, so on a given week, that's going to be great. Dart's been great. And then, like, his receivers, Pickens has been phenomenal, too. Like, he's got something there. It's just got to make it there first. And the Posse, I don't know if the old left-hander can get it done. We'll see.
Yeah. I just don't like his team very much. Yeah. He's 4-5. CHIGS is 3-6. We've got how many games left in the regular season? I think we got 5 or 6 regular season weeks left. 5. We've got 5 games left. I think Z easily does 1 game better at least. And if they have the same record, Z's going to get in because he's going to have the points advantage. I think Z easily does 1 game better than the Posse in this last 5-game stretch. Then the last team we'll talk about is normally he's Mr. Consistent, had a really shit week. And that's what pisses me off about fantasy. Me and Casey put up pretty much the same amount of points. I had a half point less than him. Everyone's talking about how my team did so shitty. Nobody's talking about Casey's team because he picked up the win. Lucked his way into a win because he played the Posse. His team did not do very good. Would have got his ass kicked by a lot of teams in our league last week. But nonetheless, I still think he has a good team. Caught some bad luck with the JD5 injury. I mean, he could have had Jalen Hurts, but he drafted Jaden Daniels ahead of him. It does not look good so far. But here, I'm going to steal your word. He's got pieces. Got pieces down there on the bench. Chase Brown, Diggs, Trey Benson's coming back. Tyrone Tracy's going to be good the rest of the way. Harold Fannin, Tyjae Spears. I like Casey's team a lot. I think they are a firm playoff team. I think if I had to pick who's going to have the buys, I think it's going to be me and Casey are picking up those 2 buys in the playoffs. Sorry, Jay.
All right. Yeah, Casey's team on paper, just missing a running back too. And he does have Chase Brown, Tracy, and Vidal, but like if you just want to be mediocre there, just fucking say it. And he won't go out and move the things. Casey, I think, has the best. You two definitely are close, but I think, in my opinion, Casey is the best receiver/tight end combos, and on top of it is Javonte. So he's just missing a running back 2 and a quarterback, in my opinion, from being the best team in the league. Owen has that right now, in my opinion. But I think if Casey can capitalize somewhere, go out and get another consistent running back that puts your team, every week his team could be scoring 130-plus points. And that's like the floor because you have CeeDee, Waddle, Amon-Ra, the clear number 1 targets in there, and they have guys around them that are going to make them do better. McBride just gets fed the football. Javonte, he scores a touchdown, you're automatically looking at 12-plus probably. Find yourself a quarterback out there. Go make some moves. Go talk to the Posse. He's got pieces. Go make a fucking move, and he won't do it. It's making me mad.
That's right, Casey.
Yeah.
Screw you. All right, there you have it. There is our Week 9 recap.
Feel to have his team right now.
Absolutely. Let's head on over to the trade corner. Here we go, Week 10 trade corner. Just got one deal for you guys, and guess who it is? It's Joe, like always. How many trades you got left?
I got 4.
Ooh, getting skimpy. You made a deal with Kyle. I wouldn't call it a blockbuster, but it was a rather large deal. A 5 for 5. Joe, I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, so heading last week, put up a great win. But like for the price, Zay Flowers and Devonta Smith were going for what Kyle wanted. I liked what I could get in return, and that was I got Tet, I got Marv, I got Kyle Monunga, I got Godwin, I got Jacoby Myers, and like that is probably the 5 most average people you could ever think of. But there's a lot of upside, and I think Harrison. I made that deal thinking Jacoby was going to be the starter before that was announced, and that already came true, which I love. He's going to get fed the football, and I think he's going to be better what Smith and Flowers were. Ted, he's pushing for what he should be. Not really scoring touchdowns. I still like where he's at. I think, but they're run heavy now, so I'm still a little. I don't know what to do there. But Kyle Mononga is the big piece in this. He's going to get more carries. It might not be right now, but I think once we get to the playoffs, and it gets to a point where maybe Swift gets hurt, or maybe it just Kyle Mononga's the better runner, which is clear. I think that could end up benefiting me. He's going to be the Montgomery. He's going to get the touchdowns, and I think that's what I need, especially with my other running back is David Montgomery right now. And then with Godwin and Myers, I think 2 really high upside guys right there. Godwin, Evans out for the year probably. He's going to get fed that rock once he gets it. I'm looking for playoffs here, and that's where I need plug-and-play guys once we get to the playoffs. Best matchup, who I think. I don't really want to have my faith in that, and then same with Myers. We'll see how he gets, but their GM kind of took a shot at we traded for Jacoby Myers because he doesn't drop the ball, which means, okay, he's going to get the football. So I also have Brian Thomas, so I wanted to play on the safe side there, but Kyle got good piece in that. I really did not want to trade Romeo Dobbs. Z was kind of talking about it early in the episode. Like, I am a big fan of, or later in the episode for you guys. He's getting fed the football. I really didn't want to trade him, and Kyle made me add him, but I really wanted to get this deal done. So we'll see how it works, because last time I said I was really confident in a deal. It turned out to be the worst trade of the year by far. So we're going to see how this gets me. But I think I just need practically one more win, and I'm in the playoffs. So
I think this deal was a whole lot of nothing. As you can see by the meme on the screen, he ain't do nothing but step back. In all seriousness, I think Joe wins this trade. Never been a Devonta guy, never been a Zay Flowers guy. They're just too inconsistent. And I think Marv and Tet have that X-receiver type of upside where they can go off for a 3-touchdown game and still get consistent targets. They're like mini Drake Londons, mini A.J. Browns. They're like a step below that, like an Aldi brand. And I like those 2 guys a lot more than I like Zay and Devontae. Jacobs is fine. Godwin sucks. And then Monunga, yeah, like that upside. Way more than I like the upside of a Devin Neal or a Chamir DK. Chamir DK is just like an Aldi brand Rashid Shaheed at this point. Yeah, I think Joe wins, but again, not a needle mover. Something just kind of, it's meh. It's a meh. So there you have it. Who won? Who lost? Sound off in the comments. Let's head right on in to FAQs. What's going on, guys? Week 10 FAQs. Joined by with my guy Owen, rocking the Thunder NBA champion shirt?
I'm a bandwagon in all sports.
There we go. All right.
Go Dodgers.
That'll take us right into the start and sit of the week for Owen. What you got for us?
I'm not going to be stupid again. I kind of went with like 4 starts last week. I can do the same thing, but I'm going to narrow it down to Quentin Johnson for the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I was telling Cole earlier because he's got Ladd. So I think you should start all those Chargers. I know Pittsburgh looked better on defense last week. They had 5 takeaways on Daniel Jones. But Daniel Jones still threw for 364 yards. And I think Justin Herbert could be in for a big day. He looked good last week too. So, yeah, fire up those Chargers weapons. But if I had to pinpoint one that you may not be starting that you should put in and maybe a flex play is QJ.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert's been a factory for wide receiver production since the Omarion Hampton and Najee Harris injuries. Can't see that changing anytime soon. So we're starting all those Chargers weapons. Sit of the week. Who are we not a fan of in week 10?
Going down to Duval, I'm going to go with Brian Thomas Jr. Now, they just traded for Jacoby Myers. I'm not too worried about that in terms of BTJ's overall production, but I am worried about that low ankle sprain. That can be lingering, especially for a wide receiver like him who cuts, makes moves, and he draws Derek Stingley. So, low ankle sprain, Derek Stingley, not going to have a good week for Brian Thomas.
No blames. All right. Sitting BTJ. That'll take us into our first question. Before we talk about the question, drop down those comments. You guys know the drill. First question from Ryan Liebrecht. I don't know how to say it. Sorry, Ryan. He's asking, is Rico Dowdle a top 12 running back rest of the season in full PPR? Blade Runner Zach, our guy, replied, yes, he might be a league winner if you drafted good, and definitely start him against my shitty-ass Saints if you have him. Blade Runner Zach, again, we're sorry. Saints fan, that sucks. But he's a fan of Rico. Owen, are you a fan of Rico for the rest of the season?
I am a fan of Rico. Now, 2 weeks, if you asked me 2 weeks ago, I was not a fan of Rico. But after I saw what he just did to that Green Bay defense, I'm a fan of Rico. I do think he's an RB1 rest season. I think he's top 12. You could probably see him, even if he continues the work he's getting, he could probably even creep up to that mid RB1 range. It's kind of weird. I can't really explain it because I've never seen production like this from just a year 7 guy just out of nowhere. Rico Dowdle is just Jesus himself. Is year 5? I thought he was 27 years old.
27, year 5.
That's weird. I guess we see younger guys nowadays. But, you don't see that, ever. Especially from, a guy who hasn't been, that good his whole career. So, it's a weird thing to judge, but I do think he's an RB1 for the rest of the season.
Yeah. No, you're right. This is I would not have expected this if you would have told me 2 months ago that Rico Dowdle was going to be one of the best running backs in fantasy, but that's the beauty of it. Yeah, so he had those 2 monster weeks, 34-34. Then Chuba came back, so they wanted to give Chuba the benefit of the doubt. So then Rico put up 10 and 5, but he looks to be all the way back. 25 carries, 130 yards, 2 tutties against a pretty good Green Bay defense. And I'm also going to be in agreement here with Blade Runner Zach, with Owen, Ryan. Rico Dowdle has the easiest. He plays in the NFC South. I mean, that is just going to be a factory for fantasy points. Saints, Falcons, Niners, Rams, all pretty good matchups, I'd say. Yeah, so I'm all in on Rico Dowdle because volume is king. Now, he hasn't gotten a ton of catches, but if you're getting 25 carries for 100-plus yards with multiple touchdowns, that's going to make up for it any day of the week. Rico Dowdle all the way.
Shout out to Z, by the way. I'm sorry that you started 2-6 because I'm a little nervous if I have to play you. Rico, Puka, and Jamar, I don't want to play that.
No, absolutely not. Next question from Play Calling University. He's asking, or she, where do you guys stand on all of the Bears' weapons for the rest of the season? So we saw the Bears' massive shootout game, dropped a 47-burger on Cincinnati, so it's got to be taken with a grain of salt. But we saw a lot of shakeup. The rookies emerged. Not Luther Burden, he was hurt, but Kyle Monungai had a monster game in DeAndre Swift's absence. Colston Loveland finally showed out because Cole Kmet left the game early. I think he would have had a big game regardless, though. So I guess we can go position by position here for the Bears. We'll start off with the running backs. Swift is probably going to come back, I'm assuming. I haven't really heard much. Where do you stand on this backfield for the rest of the season?
Yeah, going back to the whole Rico Dowdle thing, with Monungai having the week he just had, I don't think you can just get him off the offense. You're gonna have to give him some bulk of the carries at some point, especially with him being a young dude. Like you said, Swift should be back, so I expect it's kind of like the Chuba situation. Chuba comes back, they're gonna give him benefit of the doubt, give him the carries, and maybe Monungai steps up again and has another big game, or continues to have a big game down the stretch, and we continue to see him go up and up and up and up and up in volume. But until then, I would kind of treat it as a committee and kind of a game script dependent backfield. So I would just they're playing the Giants this week. You could probably start Monungai or Swift, but if it's a tough matchup, I'd stay away until I see one take a huge leap in volume.
Yeah, so there's many layers to this backfield. Layer number one is that Kyle Monungai is Ben Johnson's guy. Obviously, Ben Johnson has a massive say in the draft room in April. He brought him in. DeAndre Swift, on the other hand, I know Ben Johnson probably didn't have a lot of say as the offensive coordinator in Detroit, but the Lions literally got rid of DeAndre Swift. So that might tell you something there.
Yeah.
That maybe Monungai's your guy there. But also, I just want pieces of this Bears backfield because Ben Johnson's scheme and this offensive line's ability to run block is so good that one of these two is going to take a step and one of the two is going to be good down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a lottery ticket. You just don't know which one's going to win. It's like a coin flip. But
if we're calling Gibbs Sonic and Knuckles, what should we call Monungai and Swift?
I don't know.
Mario and Luigi?
Mario and Luigi could be good. Maybe SpongeBob and Patrick. I don't know. But the one thing, the Bears have a very tough schedule. Giants, not too bad. But then you got Vikings, Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers. I mean, that stretch sucks.
Packers, Packers is terrible.
Yeah. So not the best for running backs there. But again, I'd be cool with either one of those two guys. So that'll do it with the running backs. Let's head on over to receiver. You got Rome Odunze, DJ Moore. Rome Odunze, here's his last 4 weeks. 5, 5, 18, 0. Rome taking a little bit of a dip. How are you feeling about him for the rest of the season?
I don't know if I'm too concerned. If that Bears offense is going to continue to look how it's looked, like you said, I want a piece of it. And I think I do think Rome is that guy for the Bears. Now, they took him, what, 7th overall? Ninth. He's not going to be like that dude who just underperforms all the time. Like you might have these weeks where you have the DJ, you might have these weeks where you have the Colston, or like last week where they just ground and pounded because that's what was working. But I'm not shying Rome away. I still do think he's a great asset to have on your fantasy team. So there's Rome.
Yeah, and then DJ Moore's interesting because really he's just been like the definition of like 9 or 10 points all year. He finally had a breakout game, I would say, 23 points, threw a touchdown, and ran for a touchdown. Do you think he continues that success, or how do you feel about DJ Moore?
I feel like to continue that success, we're going to have to see Luther Burden out for a little bit longer. Now it's just a concussion, so I don't know how much longer that's going to be. I actually started DJ Moore this week because Luther Burden was out, and it was a pretty good matchup. But I think with Burden in there, I think there's just going to be so many of these weapons and mouths to feed. And Ben Johnson's a very creative guy. He's gonna find a way to get the ball to these rookies. So I think you got to see Luther Burden out to see DJ Moore kind of feast.
Yeah, so that's DJ Moore. Last guy to talk about here, Colston Loveland. You talking about mouth to feed? Here's another one. The number 10 overall pick in the draft, I believe. Finally had his breakout game. I mean, he was putting up duds. 4-0, 4-4, 7-8. Had 36 this week. 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. The game winner. He finally showed out. Cole Kmet left the game with a concussion, so he's not going to be out long term. But I got to be honest. I think Loveland has officially taken over. I think this was an eye-opener for the staff. I think Loveland is definitely going to be the lead guy now. But with that being said, is he still going to be startable in fantasy?
It's kind of the same situation with like Monungai to me. If Komet's in the lineup, you know what? I think he's startable. Yeah, I'm gonna go with he's a startable guy now. I like the Bears offense. I think it's pretty good. If they're going to continue to play the way they are, like I said, like 2 minutes ago, I want a piece of it, and I'm excited for Colston Loveland because I was big on him going into the year, and we saw what Ben Johnson did with Sam Laporta. I expect that to continue for Loveland. They took him very high in the draft. They're going to use him. He's in a feast.
Sweet. So we're high on Loveland. I agree. I don't know if I'd call him startable just because there's so many viable tight ends this year. There's like 20 guys that can go out and get you, 10 to 12 points any given week.
Even on the waiver in our league, like what, Hunter Henry's out there with May playing the way he's playing.
Zach Ertz is always a touchdown threat. Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there. And that'll actually take us into our next question. It's a tight end related question. So Sean Johnson had Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft had an amazing year, tore his ACL.
Petey luck.
Yeah, so now Sean Johnson, my apologies, is asking about a couple tight ends and if they're going to come close to the production that Tucker Kraft had. First guy is Aronde Gadsden of the Chargers. Second guy is Dalton Kincaid from Buffalo. And then the rookie Harold Fannin in Cleveland. I guess the way we can kind of frame this is, I guess, just rank those three rest of season. Gadsden, Kincaid, Fannin. How you feeling?
Yeah, I think Gadsden's the clear-cut one here. He's really good. The Chargers throw the hell out of the ball with those injuries in the backfield. So Gadsden's my one. I'm going to go Fannin my two and Kincaid my three. Now, Kincaid's been really good as of late, but the Bills can run the fuck out of the football, man. Josh Allen and James Cook are unbelievable in that backfield, and that offensive line is awesome. So they're going to continue to run the ball. They're probably going to get ahead of a lot of games, and I envision Cleveland being down in a lot of games, and Dylan Gabriel loves to throw that ball to Fannin. So give me Gadsden, then Fannin, then Kincaid.
I'm in agreement. I'm going Gadsden number one. However, I'm going to go Kincaid just because I like him. He's my guy. And I think he provides kind of an upside that Fannin doesn't. Fannin might have a little bit more consistency, maybe a little more safer.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he's got like that 30 not point per game, but I don't think he can do that and pop off for you. Where I think Kincaid, he can have a game where he goes for 2 or 3 tutties. But again, it's a little more inconsistent just because, like you said, the game scripts from Buffalo seem to be so drastic. I actually find that when they play tougher defenses and better teams, their dudes do better. Because Buffalo's a team that they will beat the shit out of like a bad team. And then
they'll keep going.
Yeah, and they'll go run the whole second half. And you're like, God damn it, just because they jumped on him so early. So, yeah, a little riskier with Kincaid, but we're in agreement. It's Gadsden 1, and then you've got Fannin 2, Kincaid 3. I got that flipped. But I think all three are pretty good. It's a good year for tight ends. Last question. Guess who it is?
BRZ.
It's BRZ. This is a long... Gotta collect my breath. So I respect BRZ for this. He put the question up front. He front-loaded the question, then kind of talked a little bit after, told a little bit of a storytelling. He said, would you rather trade away Pittman or Ibuka? I need an RB2 this week, bad, because Kareem Hunt's on a bye. Well, I mean, that sucks that Kareem Hunt you're running back 2 in the first place, BRZ. I would probably just make a trade in the first place. Then all caps.
BRZ.
Also, can I get a woo? I need Cole and Joe to rep those Caleb Williams jerseys this week. Picked him up off waivers. Him and CMC carried me to a win. I get you. Woo! And I'm actually, in this next segment, we're going to tell Joe to give you a woo too. I'll rock my Caleb Williams jersey as well. Shout out BRZ. Also, I need a CHIGS parlay segment for Black Friday coming up. I think people have been commenting about it. BRZ's asking about it. I think that's going to be a future segment we're going to do. We're going to do
He's been hot, really hot.
Z's best bets. So that's coming soon. Regardless, let's get back to the question here. BRZ's asking, so he needs a running back. I guess just the way to pose this is, who would you rather have rest of season? Michael Pittman or Ibuka? Who should Blade Runner Zach hold on to, and who should he trade?
They've both been pretty good. Ibuka's been slow as of late. I'm going to go with Ibuka just because he's my guy. I drafted him in every league. I just love Ibuka. And I actually do think he's going to have a very good outlook for the rest of the year. These past 2 games have been complete stinkers. Baker's not been playing his best, and Ibuka just hasn't seen the light of day. He's still getting targeted. He's that downfield guy with Evans out, and I think he's just going to kick ass for the rest of the year. That's not a knock on Michael Pittman because he's quietly having one of those years he had 2 years ago where he was wide receiver 8, and then he had that nasty concussion. But yeah, I honestly do think if you, in terms of trading away, just because of Ibuka's name value, you could definitely get more for Ibuka than Michael Pittman because like I said, Michael Pittman's quietly having an awesome year that I hardly even knew about. So in terms of trading away, you could probably get more for Ibuka, but I'm an Ibuka guy and I'm going to stand by Ibuka, so I'd rather have Ibuka rest of the season. How many times did I just say Ibuka?
Now, if BRZ's league, if they're tapped in, if they're dialed, they should value Michael Pittman highly But
Yeah.
if he plays in a casual league, I think people aren't going to know about how good of a season Pittman's been having, because me and you both found out. I didn't even realize that. 21, 23, 20 last 3 weeks. I mean, he's been awesome. Been seeing a ton of targets. They just traded away Adonai Mitchell. That probably doesn't mean much, but it helps a little bit. And then, we talk about it. Ron Stewart talks about it. We want rookies late in the season. Second half of the season, rookie wide receivers. They
Just had their bye, too.
Yeah, Godwin's banged up. Evans, banged up. Igbuka, I think it's, what do you say that, wheels up. But regardless, BRZ, I'd like to hold on to both those guys. I think they're both going to have fantastic rest of the seasons. But I think you're going to get a good running back if you trade either one of those guys. Like, if you're trading them, you should be getting a good player back. So there you go.
You can't roll out Kareem Hunt as your RB2, BRZ. I'm a Chiefs guy. Kareem Hunt's in my top 5 Chiefs ever, but you can't roll him out there.
Absolutely. All right, there you go. Those are our Week 10 FAQs. Comment down below for next week's vid. Owen, thanks for joining me. And let's head on over to our Week 10 Pick'em. See ya. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Week 10 Pick'em segment. Joined with my guys, Joe and Zach. Like always, we do have a guest. Let's get a little drum roll going. The guest for Week 10 is Drew Wills. What's going on, Drew? North Central football player. Was a wide receiver, now a DB.
That's correct, yeah.
Sweet.
Wow.
All right, let's look over the standings. Week 9 was a pretty average week. Joe went 9-5. It says CHIGS went 8-6, but I went 8-6. CHIGS went 7-7. Looking at the full season standings, I'm still in the lead. I'm at 84-50. Joe is at 82-52. So Joe jumped back into second place. He's 2 games back. CHIGS right behind him though. He's 81-53. So it's still a very close race. Looking at the guest leaderboard, Jaden, who was our guest last week, went 7-7. So he did not overtake Owen. So Drew, the record to beat for you is 9-4. That's the best guest we've had. I feel like that's pretty attainable. You could get that. So
I'm looking to
Owen
beat that.
is still our leader. The Week 10 buys, we got 4 teams on a buy. The Bengals, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, and the Titans. So that'll impact some fantasy matchups. Let's jump right into it. Let's head into Thursday Night Football. The Raiders versus the Broncos. AFC West matchup. Denver, it's been the same story the whole season. Just gritty wins. Like, they don't look good, but they keep getting them. They kind of remind me of the Chiefs from last year. Just a lot of close wins. With that being said, they got to lose at some point. I mean, they're not going to go undefeated the rest of the way. So I'm taking Vegas. I think these guys are due for a win. It's my upset of the week pick, starting right off with Thursday Night Football. And I just think this team is too good to continue to lose. Geno took a step in the right direction. Genty looks good. Pete Carroll's pissed off, and I think he goes and gets a road primetime win. Give me Vegas.
Totally thought I was going to get made fun of for this pick, but I also went Vegas. Upset of the week here. I took them last week for upset, and I just, like Cole said, they're too good. They just lost Myers, but I think that's going to open up. Trey Tucker had that one insane week and just kind of like fell off the face of the earth, so maybe he reestablished himself. Like, he's really fast, so they got to work on that a little bit. But I think Bowers had a field day last week. Broncos are not that good, in my opinion, and I agree with Cole. I think it does come crashing down this week. But that means the Raiders got to out-grit, and I don't know if they're going to do that. So I do have them doing that. On a game-winning field goal, by the way, Daniel Carlson.
We're starting right off with it. Drew, I don't know if you're familiar, but we play a game around here. If there's a game-winning field goal, we got to guess the yardage. And if we rarely get it. If we guess the yardage correctly, shirts off, it's a party, we go nuts. So you can guess the yardage for the Daniel Carlson game-winning field goal. Chigs, you wanna go with him?
Yeah, no, I got a number. I got it.
All right, you got a number, Drew?
Yep.
Joe, count them down.
57.
Oh.
Oh! Wow. Almost.
I almost went 56, too.
Me and Jay both going with Vegas. Drew, what you got?
Yeah, I'm not overthinking this one. I'm going with Denver. I think they're the better team. They're playing at home, and they're 9.5-point favorites, so I don't got any reason to go against picking the Broncos here.
I was the same way, honestly. I picked the Raiders last week. That disappointed me. So, I mean, I don't like. I looked at the standings today. I'm like, Jesus Christ, the Broncos are 7-2. But yeah, they don't feel like a 7-2 team. I mean, they got their defense is unbelievable, but I don't think they're like a top 5 team in the NFL good. But they're good enough to beat the Raiders at home on Thursday Night Football. So,
All right, so we're split down the middle on Thursday night. Me and Joe are taking Vegas. Drew and Chigs are going with Denver. That'll take us into Sunday. We've got an 8:30 kickoff. We're in Germany this time. We're not in England. We're in Germany for the Falcons and the Colts. In the preseason, I was not really excited for this matchup. Now I kind of am. I think it's going to be kind of a fun game. Colts had a little bit of a hiccup last week, similar to Paul's pals. And that's all I think it is. I think it's just a small hiccup. I'm rolling with Indianapolis. I don't think that they're going to start, they're going to crash and burn or anything. Steelers are a pretty solid team, I would say, and they got a nice win. But I think Indianapolis is just clearly better than Atlanta. Atlanta sucks, dude. Raheem Morris might get fired.
Well, I was just talking about this today, and obviously this isn't going to help back up my pick. I'm going Falcons here. I think they're going to play pissed off here. The thing that just confused me, a few points here. One, they traded, I know, like Cole said, it might just be a hiccup, but you had your worst week of the season, and then you decide to buy. That's a little crazy to me. I like that. They do get Sauce for 6 years, so that really doesn't have much to do with it. But if they had any other coach in there besides Raheem Morris, this team would be you have Bijan, you have Pitts, you have Penix, you have London. There's no, and they always find a way to, it's kind of how Arthur Smith ran their offense. They just overthink it. It's just go do what your playmakers are supposed to do. I'd love to see what Ben Johnson would have done in Atlanta. They'd be even more impressive than the Bears are, I think. But I think here, Falcons know they got to win. They don't have their first-round pick this year. So not only are they fighting for a playoff spot here, they're kind of hoping that their pick doesn't bite them in the ass and everybody gets fired. But they're going to play pissed off here, and I think the Steelers' defense heading into last week wasn't the best. They kind of locked it down and saw what happened. I think the Falcons' defense has been playing better than what kind of similar situation to the Steelers. They figured that out. I think the Falcons win this game. I'm going to go 27-20.
Sounded like you were trying to sell yourself on that pick. Sounded like you don't sound too confident in that one.
I love the Falcons. Bijan, come on.
Drew, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts. Even though I'm not completely sold on the Colts, I still respect them as a top 10 team. I have them at 8 in my power rankings, but I don't think the Falcons are any good anyway, so I'll with the Colts to win this one.
yeah, I think the Colts needed that loss last week. They're 7-1. They're riding high, and then Pittsburgh just played their best game of the season. So, I mean, I didn't know it was in Germany, but I think the Colts are going to come out there and whoop ass, I'm going to be honest. But, for the Falcons, too, I mean, they need a win. They need it bad. So, I mean, maybe they can squeak out an upset, but the Colts are just too good. I think JT gets back in the end zone, obviously, for probably 3 touchdowns. He's fucking insane.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
All right, there we go. Joe's lone wolf in Atlanta. That'll take us into an ugly matchup. Browns versus the Jets. Jets just had a fire sale. They were making headlines. What was it, yesterday, 2 days ago? Yeah, I think just Cleveland's the better team. This is going to be interesting because I feel like both teams are definitely tanking. So maybe Cleveland tries to lose. I don't know. It's a weird game. I'm thinking like a 16-9 final. I'm kind of rooting for New York a little bit because Justin Fields is my guy. And I kind of want to see Shadur get in there for Cleveland. But I think Cleveland's the better team, way better defensively. And I can't see the Jets putting up a lot of points. Give me Cleveland in a shitty game.
I think Cleveland has a pretty high-scoring game here. I mean, the Jets' defense is pretty bad with what they had already, and then they traded everything away. Expect the tight ends to have a big game here. I think Fannin and Njoku could both find the end zone once, if not, maybe one of them finds it twice. I think here that the Browns win pretty significantly. I'm going to go 31-14.
Yeah, if I'm being real, I think both teams suck, but the Browns suck a little less than the Jets do, just because the Browns have a solid defense. Even though the Jets is all right, I think the Browns' defense is a little bit better. That's why I'm going to the Browns to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is easy shit fest of the week here. I went Browns, too. I don't know. It'd be hilarious if the Jets just scored, 40 points and just whooped the Browns' ass after they traded everyone. And they still kept, Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, even though they both definitely won out. But I mean, yeah, Browns are just better.
All right, next game. It's not getting much better. Saints and the Panthers. Panthers. Talk about one of the sneakiest 5-4 teams in memory. Like, I feel like they suck, and somehow they're 5-4. Just knocked off a pretty good Packers team in Lambeau Field. Now they get a much easier matchup.
Pretty good.
They're back at home versus the Saints. I'm gonna roll with the Panthers. Like I don't love them. I feel the same way about the Panthers as I do with Cleveland. Like I don't think they're good, but I think they win just because their opponent is worse. Yeah, it's Rico Dowdle season. He's gonna go off. Z, I know you like to do your best bet segment. I'm gonna do my play of the week, Paul's play of the week. Give me Rico Dowdle over 1.5 touchdowns. He's getting in twice.
Oh, let's go.
Rico doesn't play. Saints will win this game, but it sounds like they're leaning on forcing him to play. So I'm going to take the Panthers here. He's been a stud. Poor Tubes, man, just not good. I do think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think, though. Tyler Schlock didn't look that bad last week, but he did lose Rashid Shaheed, so they're just a whole blob of meh. So we're going to go Panthers here, 24-10.
Yeah, I got a real eerie feeling that the Saints are going to upset the Panthers in this game just because the Panthers seem to do the opposite of what teams expect them to do. They seem to win the games they're supposed to lose and lose the games they're supposed to win, but I can't pick against a 5.5-point favorite at home. I think the Panthers are and Saints, so I'm rocking with the Panthers. And I had Rico Dowdle in 3 fantasy leagues, traded him away and 1, but still have him in 2, so I'm hoping for a great game out of him, and hopefully he continues his dominance.
He's a beast.
Jay, do you still have Rico Dowdle?
Oh, you.
Or did you trade him?
So,
Yeah, I mean Rico Dowdle is the fucking man there. They're 3-0 when he's had the lead back role, and it's going to continue. They're going to be 4-0 with him after this game. I don't think this is going to be getting close at all. I mean, you got a good corner on J.C. Horn on Olave. I mean, who the hell is Shuck going to throw to? He's got no Shaheed. Olave is going to be on locks with Horn. I mean, he's going to have to rely on Alvin Kamara's old ass. That's not good. I think the Panthers are going to beat him, and they're going to beat him bad.
Yeah, I think Rico Dowdle may need to get drug tested because this makes no sense how he could be in his age 27 season just out of nowhere become a beast when he was nothing his first 6 years.
I love it. I love it.
1,000 yards.
Owen said the same thing. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. It's crazy. Next game, we go from one of the worst games of the week to one of the best games. This is probably the best game of the week. Patriots Buccaneers in Tampa. They're coming off a bye. They're fresh, but they're going to be without Mike Evans and probably Chris Godwin. I know he's questionable right now, I think, and Bucky Irving. So this is a depleted Tampa Bay team. That's why I'm rolling with New England. Both teams are incredibly hot. It feels like it's Baker Mayfield's year. It feels like it's Drake May's year. I know New England's on the road, but I'm rolling with the Patriots just because we've seen a little more consistency out of them. Tampa Bay hasn't looked great their last 2 games against Detroit and New Orleans. They won, but they didn't look great. So that's why I'm rolling with New England. New England's just got a cupcake schedule, so this is a good test for them. Finally, they're playing a good opponent. So we'll see. If they win this game, I'm going to keep rolling with them and keep picking them. If they lose, I'll start picking Tampa Bay again.
I'm taking the Bucs simply here because I know they're banged up, but they play with. I mean, both these teams play with the fuck you mentality, and it's just. I think the biggest thing here, though, with the Bucs is they don't turn the ball over as much. You got to worry about Stevenson fumbling the ball. They don't like Henderson as much. Drake May doesn't really necessarily turn the ball over much. He's got fumble issues. Sometimes throws a bad interception. Patriots are playing too streaky, in my opinion. That's why I'm going to take the Bucs, who are more seasoned vets at this.
I'm also going with the Buccaneers. I'm not completely sold on the Patriots. I have them at 10 in my power rankings, and I have Buccaneers at 9. I know the Buccaneers are a little injured right now, but they're also coming off a bye, and they're home. Trust Baker Mayfield more than I trust Drake May, so I'm rocking with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, this is my game of the week. I like what Joe said, how the Patriots are just riding high and the Bucs are seasoned vets. I like that. I think it's gonna be a very high scoring game though. And even though both Drake May, he has Stephon Diggs, Hunter Henry, they're not really that good anymore. And then Baker's just got Rashad White and goddamn Stephon Diggs, who's old and whatever.
Like Buka, Holmes.
Oh, Ibuka, sorry. Ibuka, that's Cleveland. That's on me. But I don't know. Like, both these quarterbacks are just so good. Drake May's been awesome. Baker's been awesome. So it was honestly a toss-up. But the Bucks are at home, so it's hard to pick against the home team. So I'm rolling with Baker Mayfield and the Bucks.
I was surprised to see that I'm lone wolfing New England. But yeah, like I said, it's a good test because they're similar to the Bears in the way that they just beat up on bad teams right now. They did beat Buffalo though. I will give them props for that. Next game, Ravens versus the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy coming off of a sick signature win at Ford Field against the Lions. And the Ravens look really good too. They've got 2 wins in a row. They beat the Bears. Lamar came back. They beat the Dolphins. They got kind of a mini bye because they played on Thursday. Now they're going on the road. But I just can't see J.J. McCarthy doing it twice. That's why I'm rolling with Baltimore. I know Brian Flores has a good defense, but Lamar Jackson, he's built for that. And, yeah, I don't even think this is going to be really close, to be honest. I got the Ravens winning 35-10. Blowout.
This is my game of the week for a few reasons. It could be one of those games where, like, the Ravens just blow the shit out of a team here and, like, they could win, like, 45-10, and it's, like, a great game to watch just because, like, offense. Or, like, it could be a close game. Like, I was surprised last week. J.J. McCarthy, from not playing in a while, comes out and beats the Lions. It's at Ford Field, tough task to do. So, with that being said, though, I'm going to take the Ravens here. I still think both of these, I think it's going to be heavy offense here. I know the Vikings think they got to clean it up on defense. I don't think they do it enough, though. I'm going to go Ravens 34-28.
Yeah, I'm also picking the Ravens, even though as a Bears fan, I still really respect Vikings. I think the Vikings are a solid team just because I believe Kevin O'Connell is one of the best coaches in the league. He was able to get J.J. McCarthy to beat the Lions despite him only throwing 150 passing yards or something, which is insane. So I think it might be a close game. I think the Ravens are top 7 team. They're only going to get hotter as they get more and more of their players back.
Yeah, the Ravens are going to be riding high with Lamar back. And honestly, if this was in Baltimore, I think they would just beat the shit out of the Vikings. I did not expect the Vikings even come close last week. But I don't know. I just got that feel. He was amazing last week. He's going to not do good this week, and the Ravens are just going to eat up on that. So,
It's kind of like what they did in Week 1 and Week 2 when McCarthy was the starter. They had a really nice win on primetime against the Bears. Then Sunday Night Football against the Falcons, he played like J.J. McShifty. Like, they sucked. I think he scored like 6 points.
They had another game. They had like they beat the shit out. They beat the shit out of somebody. Who'd they beat? Their defense had like 2 pick sixes.
Yeah, that was with Wentz, but that was when they beat the Bengals in Week 3.
Yeah. And then they lost the last week. That's kind of what I'm going for here.
Up and down season for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Nice, Jay. That was sick. But hey. Next game, AFC East matchup, Bills versus the Dolphins. I thought it was kind of interesting that they opted to fire their GM Greer, but then they held on to Mike McDaniel. This is just like a weird season for Miami. It kind of feels like that Bears 2021 year when they very clearly like should have blown it all up and fired Nagy and fired Ryan Pace, but then they just kind of hung around with those guys for an extra year and just kind of delayed the rebuild. Feels kind of like what Arizona's doing as well. Buffalo's just a much better team. Got a really nice win at home against Kansas City. I don't think Miami should give them any trouble.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but Buffalo's that weird team that just kind of, some of these games, like, they're too close for too long, and then I'm not saying I could see that happening in this game, but I'm also saying I could see that happening in this game. They hang with the Dolphins too long. Dolphins' offense matches what the Bills' offense is doing, and then Bills always seem to capitalize on a win. So I'm going to go close game here. I'm going to go 31-27 Bills.
The Dolphins suck. Tua turned the ball over, sucks, and the Bills are good. So I'm going to take the Bills to kill the Dolphins, even though I think the Dolphins coach is a solid offensive mind and will be a real good OC somewhere if for this year he goes and does that. He's just a great head coach. So I'm taking Bills to win this one.
Yeah, I'm going Buffalo, obviously. I think it's going to be – I mean, they should beat the hell out of them. But the three – Shakir and Kay's been awesome, and then James Cook has been – whenever the Bills win, James Cook's going to be a fucking beast. I think he's got over 100 yards, all-purpose yards every game they've won this year. Just keep feeding the ball. I think he had 25 rushes last week or something crazy like that. Again, he might rush for 150 yards. So I would keep riding him high.
Cook didn't practice today, and I'm hoping he doesn't play because 4 of my 8 starters in one of my fantasy leagues are in a bye, and I picked up Ray Davis. So hoping Cook sits out so
really?
I can be entered into the lineup.
Oh, that's why Owen said that.
Yeah, I snagged Ray Davis as well. But I think Buffalo wins no matter if he plays or not. All right, here we go. Here is our hometown team, the Chicago Bears, back at home. Finally, feels like we're on the road every week at this point, against the New York Giants. Giants fall to 2-7 last week. Didn't look particularly great against the Niners. Now they got a road test against the Bears, coming off of a very, very exciting win. I'm taking the Giants. I can just see it already. I feel like my vision has been pretty good this year. Like I've been been pretty good at predicting stuff. The Bears defense sucked last week. We allowed 42 points. I could just see Jackson Dart and Brian Dable picking us apart next week. He's going to run for like 2 touchdowns. I don't know why. I just have a bad feeling. This is a gut pick because, I mean, clearly the Bears are the better team. Better coach, better quarterback, all that stuff. But this just feels like a signature Bears loss. I got that feeling. And if I set my expectations low, then a win feels awesome. If I set my expectations high and we lose, that's a punch to the face. So I did this against Baltimore where I picked the Bears and I was really let down. So now I'm doing the opposite. Rolling with New York. I feel like they're going to pick us apart, to be honest.
I couldn't agree more. And I had the Giants winning this game all week until I'm like, I got to take the Bears. So I totally agree that. But here's the thing, the difference that I took the Bears is strictly I know you talked about last week with the Bears, 42 points was atrocious, but the way the Bears defense works, they work through takeaways, and the Giants are not good at that either. The Giants defense has not really been as good, hasn't lived up to the standards that they should be, and I think that's the reason. The Bears might win this game because of their defense. I think Dart makes a bonehead error, whether there's a fumble or a turnover. There's going to be a turnover in this game that will win the Bears the game, and they should have had it last week, but he was down for too long, or whatever the fuck that was. Bears will win this game, but it's going to be really close, and they have to execute good, better, best. It's got to come out today.
Yeah, I'm happy that I'm on the podcast where it's a week where I get to pick my Chicago Bears, so I'm rocking with them this week, even though I do think the Giants are a decent team that's just had a real tough schedule. I've been battling tough injuries. I like Brian Dable, and I think the Giants are a solid team. I just think the Bears are a slightly better team, and they're home, so I'm going to rock with the Bears.
Like Jackson Dart. I do like Jackson Dart. I wanted Seattle to pick him, actually, but I'm rolling with Chicago. I still don't fully believe in them. I mean, Joe Flacco throwing for damn near 500 yards last week is pretty crazy. That is something. But, I mean, our offense looks fucking awesome. But it is the Bengals. I don't know. They're a really weird team because they're playing, like, decent, like, good enough to win, but they're also playing, like, substandard teams. So, see what happens. But I'm still going with Chicago.
It's going to get a lot tougher. We've got a 4-week stretch later in the season where I'll just tell you our last 6 games. It's Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, Niners, Lions. So there's your test right there. So you got to pick up these wins now in order to make up for the end of the year. So I guess we'll see. Next game, Jaguars versus the Texans. I was originally going to roll with Houston, but C.J. Stroud got ruled out for Week 10. Feels pretty clear to me. Rolling with Jacksonville. Really nice win. I think these guys are one of the most underrated teams in football. Specifically on our podcast, we seem to pick against them a lot, and they keep proving us wrong. I'm going to change that this week. I'm rolling with Jacksonville. Will this win put them at what, 6-3? It's pretty good. 6-3 for the Jags if they pick up a win here. They're a playoff team, I think.
I know I told you to change it, but I'm going to change it back. I'm sticking with the Texans here. I know Davis Mills is playing this game, but he didn't look half bad last week. I think the big thing is here, and I think the O-line knows this, they have to block better because they're going to have to run through the run game, and I think that's the reason they win this game. The defense has been really good. They do a great job of getting stops when they need to. I think the big thing is, like I said, the O-line. They got to come out ready to go. I could see Nick Chubb having a great game, Woody Marks having a great game, and Davis Mills, like I said, he went through the motions last week, did fine. So I'm going to take the Texans. I'm sticking with the Texans here. Low scoring. We're going to go 17-13. Jags looked brutal last week. That's why I'm.
No, they didn't.
They did. They just did. I watched that whole entire game.
No, this was a weird game where before C.J. Stroud was ruled out, the 5-3 Jags were underdogs against the Texans 3-6.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. But before C.J. Stroud got ruled out, this is a game I was going back and forth between. I originally went with Houston, but then when Stroud got ruled out, I switched my answer to Jacksonville, so I'm gonna go with the Jaguars this game.
I hate both these teams. I'm never a Jags fan. Don't like the Texans. Their defense is great, but I mean they got Nico Collins and that's about it. Dalton Schultz, I guess. But I'm going with Jacksonville. I'm not proud of it. They just lost. Who did they just lose? Oh no, they gained. They got Jacoby Myers. So I mean, maybe, but still. Is BTJ gonna play, Jay? No, he's on your team. Keeping up with that?
I'm not even playing him if he fucking plays. So.
Yeah, he's been ass anyway. So, but I mean, ETN had a great game. He had, I think, 30 touches last game against the Raiders, which was awesome. I hope that keeps up. But I mean, like his first 4 weeks of the season, ETN was great. So I think you got to keep riding high on him. But yeah, give me Jacksonville in a shitty game.
All right, I know it says we're all taking Jacksonville, but Joe switched his pickup. He's rolling with Houston. Free win for everyone else. Sweet. Next game, we're getting into the 3:30 slot here. Cardinals versus the Seahawks. Jacoby Brissett was announced as the starter. Kyler Murray to the IR. Doesn't matter. Seattle's one of the best teams in football. Super impressive win on Sunday night. And I think they keep it rolling. Seattle is awesome. Minnesota should be punching themselves in the face right now about letting go of Sam Darnold. They should have never done that shit.
Yeah, they should.
Nah, I'm taking Seattle here too. I'm not going to overthink this one, but I love the move, the soft bench and Kyler. Yeah, you go sit on the IR, you puss bag. He fucking sucks. It's facing now. Jacoby Brissett's the better option, and I think that's why I'm going. I like where their future's headed right now. So but not this game. Going Seattle.
Yeah, I'm happy Kyler got sent to the bench. I don't think he's any good, and I think the Seahawks are top 5 team in the league. Probably just at 5. I'm rocking with the Seahawks to beat Cardinals, and they're home. I don't think the Cardinals stand a chance in this game. Divisional matchup though, so maybe it could be a little closer then.
It was a close game last time. And this was originally my lock of the week. I'm going to change that. It's not my lock of the week. Still going Seattle. It's just there's so much hype around this team that I just feel like it's destined that we're going to lose a shitty game versus the Cardinals. But look at this team. I mean, what Mike McDonald does with this defense is just awesome. It's literally he's got Baltimore's defense again when he was a coach 2 years ago when they were insane, and it's awesome. This team is so well complete. Like our special teams is fucking great. Our offense is awesome. Our defense is electric. I love watching this team. Give me Seattle.
What do you guys do, Z?
Huh?
What do the Seahawks do?
Fuck.
There you go.
Next game was supposed to be such a good matchup. Now it's a clunker. Lions versus the Commanders. Jaden Daniels. Prayers up to him. Bad injury. I was probably going to take Detroit either way, but now I'm going to take them in a manslaughter. Probably my lock of the week here. Jahmyr Gibbs had a rare down week last week. He turns that ship right back around.
Oh, yeah.
He's my player.
Oh, he's going to score so much.
Oh, Petey. He's coming for you. Give me Gibbs and the Lions.
He's going to do so good.
I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah, this is my lock of the week. I know I had the Hawks as my lock earlier, but I'm going to change it. This one won't be close. I'm going to go it's going to be 45-14, something like that.
Yeah, coming off a lot.
After a loss, yeah, exactly.
I agree. Coming off a loss, the Lions are going to go out there and thank the Commanders probably without Daniels. I'm just rocking with the Lions.
Yeah, they might. Like they might have like 5 different dudes score touchdowns this game. They're gonna pull out like some bullshit like trickery like they do. Like goddamn, who's that big ass offensive lineman that they had that caught a touchdown? What's his name?
Dan
Dan
Skipper.
Skipper.
He's like 7. Dan Skipper's getting in the end zone this game. That's my play of the week. Skipper's getting in the end. They're gonna do some crazy shit. They're gonna win. And Cole's team, one of the best teams in fantasy, had a dud week. Everyone on his team is gonna do good this week. There's no way Gibbs is gonna go off. I guarantee you he's gonna go off.
I appreciate that, Z. Thanks. All right, next game. Here's a fun one. Rams versus the 49ers. These guys played once before on Thursday Night Football, and Mac Jones and the Niners got the win. Now they're headed to San Francisco looking for a sweep. I really, really wanted to take them, but I just think this Los Angeles team is driven by that loss, and I think they're coming for revenge. It's a revenge game. I'm rolling with the Rams. Stafford looks awesome. He's like a sneaky MVP guy. Not right now. He's not being talked about, but if he keeps doing what he's been doing, I mean, his last 2 games, he's had, 5 passing touchdowns and then 4 passing touchdowns? 9 TDs in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
That's sick. If he does that 2 more games, his name will be talked about a lot more. This Niners defense isn't super tremendous. They were quiet at the trade deadline. They tried to get Jermaine Johnson. Couldn't get him. So I think Stafford and the Rams take advantage of that. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think they win 32-28. Very close game, though.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking the Rams here. They're really good. Even when they're missing like Puka or something, there's a very well-ran offense, and their defense is only getting better. They're going to have 2 first-round picks this year. One of them could be in the top 15. More than likely will be in the top 15. It's like they can go quarterback route. They can boost the defense. They're going to contend, and I think the Niners, there's too many question marks there. So that's why I'm taking the Rams here.
Yeah, I love the 49ers. I had the 7th pick somehow in all my fantasy leagues, and I took McCaffrey in almost every one. So it's been awesome to see what he's doing, and I hope he has a great game. And I think the 49ers play right brand of football. They play hard-nosed rush football and could also pass. Although I think the 49ers are good, I don't think they're better than the Rams. The Rams also play football the right way. Sean McVay is a great coach. They run the ball well. They pass the ball well. I think the Rams are a top 6 team. I think they're going to lose this one against the 49ers.
This is going to be a great game. I'm going with the Rams, though. I saw something. Matt Stafford against the blitz is like unbelievable. Like he's like 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's amazing against the blitz. That's kind of what the Niners are known for. They're known for just blitzing the hell out of you on 3rd down. So I think you get Nakua out in space. He's unbelievable after the catch, and that's just all I really got to do.
Why are you saying that, Z?
Well, I mean, Puka is fucking amazing, and he's on my fantasy team. He's just got to stay healthy. He's really got to stay healthy. He had a scary injury last week. Obviously, he was out for a game or 2 a couple weeks ago, so he's got to stay on the field. But, I mean, the Niners, they got so many injuries, and they still produce. I mean, George Kittle hasn't even been doing much either, and they're still winning games here and there. So it's going to be close for sure. And they're at home, but I'm still going with L.A.
All right, that'll take us into another LA team on Sunday Night Football. We're at SoFi Stadium for the Steelers versus the Chargers, and this is probably one of the better games of the week as well. I would say top 3 games of the week are probably Tampa versus New England, probably Los Angeles versus San Fran, and then this one, Chargers-Steelers, because Pittsburgh's defense isn't very good. It's got shootout potential. With that being said, I'm rolling with the Chargers. Z is always very negative on like the Texans, and who else do you say, the Jags? Are teams that you're negative on?
Yeah.
I'm negative on Pittsburgh. Like, I just don't see the vision yet. Whereas Los Angeles, I mean, they're down their 2 starting running backs, and they're still putting up a lot of points offensively. One of those receivers is going to go apeshit. I mean, just like I could see Jackson Dart dicing up the Bears, I could, like, see it in my mind already. Chris Collinsworth, like, losing his mind over one of those 3 Chargers receivers or Gadsden. One of those 4 dudes is going to have, like, 30 points. My pick, Keenan Allen. I feel like he just has like a farewell kind of primetime game. Give me Keenan Allen to go ape shit. Chargers win.
This is an important game for both teams. I feel like if they're gonna want any shot at the division, both of the teams gotta win this game. And I think give me the Steelers. Their defense came alive last week. This is too tough. These are my two favorite secondary teams here going against each other. It's going to be a great game. Rhythm-wise, I just liked where the Steelers were last week. Joe Alt's out for the year. Chargers are a little just banged up. This is a gut pick. I'm going gut here, and I'm taking the Steelers.
We need guts.
This is a real tough game for me to decide. I don't think either of the teams are great, but being a night game in LA, I just think that gives Chargers the advantage in this game. So that's what I ended up picking.
I went with the Chargers too. Kind of skeptical because the Steelers defense played so well last week. I mean, all season before they've been really, really bad. So I'm rolling with my guy Herbert Gadsden, baby. But I mean that huge hit losing Joe Alt. I mean, if they had Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, they would be a damn good football. They still are a good football team, but they'd be a damn good football team. Good signing there with that Saints guy, like Penning or whatever his name is. So good for them, but yeah, I'm still rocking with the Chargers, but it's gonna be close.
It's gonna be a shootout. All right, Joe is lone wolfing the Steelers. Who would have thought? Final game, Monday Night Football. Really fun one at Lambeau Field. Eagles versus the Packers. I've been really hyping up Green Bay all year, but that loss against Carolina was yucky. So some would argue maybe they're out for revenge. I don't think so. I just think Philadelphia is a better football team. Ever since they dropped those couple of games about a month ago, they've looked sharp. And I think they go up, get a win on primetime in Green Bay. And Green Bay was actually the team that recommended the tush push be banned in the wintertime last year. So I think Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts want to shove it up their ass a little more. So give me Jalen Hurts to get 2 rushing touchdowns. It's another Paul's play of the week, both via the tush push.
Yeah, give me the goals here. I think the big thing with that, I think if the Packers lose, Bears win. Bears are in first place if this happens here, and I think this is a great week to do it. And I think, like the Eagles here. Packers, they're playing sloppy. I don't know if they're going to play pissed off or not. At home, you would think maybe, but give me the goals.
I'm real excited to watch this game just because I'm a huge Jalen Hurts fan, even though I'm not necessarily a fan of the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is my favorite player in the league, and I was looking at the forecast for this game. It's looking like it's 20 degrees with a slight chance of rain and snow, and as Jalen Hurts says, rain, sleet, or snow, the Eagles will be ready to go. So I'm rocking with the Eagles to win this game. Yeah. I saw Vegas has the Packers at 2.5-point favorites. My bold prediction is that the Eagles win by at least 5.
I don't know. I just can't see the Packers losing 2 games back-to-back in Lambeau. It's going to be cold. The Packers are used to playing in the cold. So I'm going with them. Rough loss last week, but I think their guy is going to be without, and no Tucker Kraft anymore. Their guy is going to be Romeo Doubs. Shout out there, Joe. I'm playing you in fantasy with Romeo Doubs.
I traded him.
He'd have a good game. Oh, you jackass. He's going to have a great game. Yeah, sorry. I was trying to hype you up there, but that stinks. This is gonna be a fun one. So definitely a toss up, but yeah, in Lambeau, back to back. Can't take back to back L's.
All right, there you have it. Me, Joe, and Drew rocking with the goals. CHIGS taking the Packers. That's gonna do it for us for Week 10. Who had the best picks? Comment down below. Drew, thanks for joining us, man. This was fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in Week 11.
You, Jake.